I think this transfer window is proving one thing, if for nothing at all. And what is proven, and say unisika men ko ban we player bia say shenu there be. Don't even attempt, because all 50 million in this window.
Is it come here say 50 in there? I'm say I players maybe for academy never.
Academy impo.
And maybe you
under 18 for that amount.
Because who play about Premier League near there. And you cross 70
85 Obi already 28 years cry you 80 million pounds for those players. And with the conversation of a Premier League, no, and from that perspective, no, Rich, I know that you remember in 2009-2010 season, the British record fee transfer at that time was Fernando Torres not over Liverpool to go and play for Chelsea. That is just barely about 20 years ago. The record fee in the British transfer records was Fernando Torres, 50 million pounds. Fast forward to now, Rich, what we are hearing in the news, what we are hearing from the reports, what we are hearing in the media, and what Europe are is very, 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 very expensive in terms of the market prices of players. No? Now, during this weekend, Nankasano, there were so many of the stories. But I think Diomande Edimo Kotnepa Yon Diomande deal from RB Leipzig to Real Madrid. And as it stands now, the controversy behind the whole deal is not even about the player in question or Rich. It is about the report on the transfer fee for the player. In Tisosha, at this point in the transfer market or in this transfer window, the biggest news of the transfers, no, so it is coming from Fabrizio Romano. And this has been the case for some years now. And Fabrizio Romano, he has built a credible brand. Italy Abonte, so you be no questions about how he was able to successfully build that career. Or can say he just normally goes to sit in a cafe or a bar, have conversations with the agents, and then he will break the news. And most of his storytelling and most of the way he presents the breaking news is based on sensationalism. He gets the news, he breaks it. But this particular window, we have also seen the rise of David Ornstein, British journalist.
David Ornstein.
Yeah, very, very solid guy. Athletic. Now, the controversy behind this whole Young Diomande deal is here, and say Young Diomande was quoted to cost 100 million euros by RB Leipzig, and PSG also met that asking price. About World Cup, no, about 100 million euros was the tag on Young Diomande. Okay, into Real Madrid for at this point decided that okay, if we are going into the market for this player, we want him, we will also match that 100 million euros that is being asked for by RB Leipzig. One of the things I was saying, say, Young Diomande does not have a release clause on his contract. Into the assistants, RB Leipzig are trying to quote a price that Omwan Kasa will say a fit for the player, and that is what they are quoting for him. But we can remember Masimbi, and this was based on reports. Say, RB Leipzig spotted that during the campaign, na Florentino Perez to be elected as president, he said, say, there was going to be 150 million euro signing. One kasa or pay Young Diomande for 150 million. One kasa. He said there will be 150 million euro signing when he becomes the president.
Michael Olise.
That was one. So there was also the speculation in the media say, Michael Olise could be that person, but it wasn't confirmed. It's the RB Leipzig for say, if you have made that promise and you have bought 100 million euros, which we have rejected, then maybe you need to go and improve your bid. Let it be closer to the 150 million that you spoke about. But the controversy between Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein is here, and he say when the news broke out, Fabrizio Romano the better about said there has been agreement between the clubs for Jan Diomande for 100 million euros. No, RB Leipzig have not confirmed that the 100 million euros is what has been agreed. That's number one. Number two, David Ornstein has also reported something different. David Ornstein say it could be that the 100 million euros is the fixed transfer fee, but there will be add-ons that could total about 20 million. Into Kaninabuma, it will average about 120 million for the player. But Enompuno and Shah, RB Leipzig will reject it. That is what David Ornstein reported. Into when you compare the two, it is not the same. Now, I'm for crying, but Fabrizio Romano, we trust you that so breaking news, so breaking story. You have all the figures, you have all you have everything at your fingertips, and you are saying it as it is. But breaking the story, you know, or say the deal is well over 100 million euros. He didn't make it specific. It's the asset now. We are hanging. We don't know the total amount. RB Leipzig for a quote for a player you from the young Diomande, and I would not be shocked if it comes out say they would announce the signing as an undisclosed fee, because as it stands there has not been any formal statement of quote in terms of figures saying a yedeje young Diomande deal, no, and that is very interesting. Because Rich, look at the player in question. 19-year-old. The weight of a Real Madrid jersey, no say, or Real Madrid, not Obesha Real Madrid jersey now. The kind of expectation that will be demanded from him. And I watched the player at the World Cup. And one of the things I said about his performance, and I say, give this guy 3 or 4 years, he will get there, but he's not there yet. As at what Real Madrid really want to do with the player, I cannot tell, because Ubisa Jose Mourinho, he said he needs players, and in fact, only players of his type on Kope. On the wing, very pacey. About to see a bobo on his wing, so he can run, collect the ball, or bit kakra. You cross into the box, and then Abia killing Mbappe, they will finish it off. But 120 million and above, and I think it is one strategy of RB Leipzig. Only a very stubborn, negotiation wise.
German teams, they
are very, 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 very stubborn.
The German team, they are very stubborn. There's no form player simple.
Look at.
I think Abia. Jose Mourinho and then Real Madrid era brand in age.
Okay.
19 years. So now more years ahead of him. And like you said, very pacey, very powerful winger, which but the only thing I'm in on here, as is over game now,
indecisiveness or indecision.
Or sir, I command Dean
kind of behavior. Yes. And that is attributed to the young players of Moba.
Apart from that, I think he's a fine player.
Yeah.
And Mourinho knows one now. So Mourinho players now. Mourinho never know.
Of course. The kind of respect that you will give to him.
Yeah. Mourinho players.
Yeah.
Players are chance or park and so on.
Yeah.
I think Ebia one of those
circumstances
or reason tia.
Yeah.
Emma Real Madrid need Jose Mourinho na yapeno. Anya sir, I think the Diomande guy, 100 million
for this is overboard, and it tells you how the market has
too exorbitant.
Yeah, the market has blown overboard. And I was asking myself over the weekend to say, does it mean that when you are bringing in a player of his caliber, it could be a signal for the exit of Vinicius Junior? Now, Vinicius Junior you see. It would be very simplistic to say the fact say Jan Diomande a free RB Leipzig Real Madrid no should mean that Vinicius Junior must exit or will exit. So over the weekend it was reported in the English media say Arsenal are ready to give Vinicius Junior £400,000 a week to bring him in from Real Madrid. There was no agreement of office. It is not true. Arsenal didn't agree any personal terms with Vinicius Junior. It was the media that was speculating. Say, whatever be the case, if Vinicius Junior beba Arsenal poor, it means that he would have to have an increased wage structure as compared to the Real Madrid CCR. Now that £400,000 a week, no, Rich, it will average close to about £20.8 million for the player. And that's annually for the player per year. for Vinicius Junior. And Ocean year, that is the gross salary. Into net, no, he'll be taking home at least 11 million pounds from Arsenal because Oko Britain Swa. Every player pays at least about 46% of any gross salary as tax. So, in Tiafon, they say Vinicius Junior obenya $11 million, 11 million pounds as any net salary for us now. At this point, no, the contract now or Real Madrid, no, I can't 1 year pay. Now, in the contract extension negotiations, no, his agents are asking for nothing less than 30 million euros for the player annually, netto, annual net salary for the player. And on a day akasakasa about Real Madrid for Mrs. Because Jose Mourinho himself agrees, say he does not want Vinicius Junior to leave. Because if you have a player of Vinicius Junior with his experience and in Yamal Real Madrid over the period, he is considered as one of their most important players. Now, so Jose Mourinho, what about Real Madrid? You would want to keep that star player and also build a team around him. Send a young Diomande, he can be able to get that kind of experience and that lesson from Vinicius Junior. But as at now, that 30 million is what is the stumbling block between Vinicius Junior and Real Madrid. No, because Real Madrid do not want to spend all that money in terms of salary on the player. No.
Okay.
But it looks like they would have to spend that money. Rich.
Now, Vini, no one can be free Madrid.
No, you see, Anopeya Ebabonte say he does not want to leave. He does not want to leave and go to Arsenal. Onyaya Kobet na Real Madrid. But it means that contract that he needs to sign, he needs to make sure that Obeba middle ground with Real Madrid for one. Because as at now, Nkofo Mujisika or Real Madrid killing Mbappe, Jude Bellingham so kahun. So he also wants to make a case for himself. So of course, I have also been a very good member of the team, and I have done well. If you want to sign a new contract with me, at least I need to be getting to that point.
You saw Arsenal?
He's not using Arsenal.
Okay.
But contract negotiations in Tiabane Sana, I was saying Real Madrid for it's nasi because there's a standoff. And I can assume, say, by the time this window will end, if indeed say Jose Mourinho considers Vinicius Junior as an integral member of his project, they will have to try and sign that contract. Because yes, as I don't think Vinicius Junior will leave. But if there's a standoff, it means that the last 12 months are a kind of contract. I want a contract, no. He may not, in terms of the future, no. Real Madrid may have it very difficult. Maybe his contract will run over and then he will leave as a free agent. And I don't think Real Madrid will want that to happen. I think in the coming days, no, we will see what will happen over there. Finally, Mamindi Alex Scott whom Kakra. And Rich, let me tell you, I think you are surprised about why Bournemouth they don't want to agree to anything less than 70-75 million for Alex Scott.
Oh, is it the players he told you?
But do you know why? Oh, you say Bournemouth, no. When you look at the setup of their team and how they have built it over the years now, Andoni Iraola played a very, very crucial role in the development of the players. Until players be to say Alex Scott say, right? James Hill woho. Ushe players be to say Dominic Solanke no oboho free hoko or Tottenham Hotspur. Look at players like Antoine Semenyo. When you look at their trajectory over the period, no, they have cashed out. And it's because of the model that they are using. Ushe players in development within the period and Andoni Iraola your coach now. There has been a certain peak according to their growth. Mm-hmm. And that is how the season ending team now person before mu player now. They want to price the player at a certain amount. Alex Scott, in terms of technical ability and even ground duel rate, his ground duel rate has increased from 47% to over 56% in just one season. Ground duels, the same as aerial duels, from 44% to 54%. When you compare the statistics of the player, even though he's not a physically dominant guy, Bruno G, no, but the kind of influence he has in the middle of the pitch for a year, Bournemouth, no, that is what is giving him the advantage in terms of the market value. And what me bought so many various positions in the middle channel, right channel, left channel, or ball wings, so you can see that it's about the versatility of the player. And Usha's versatility now, that is one of the things that Xabi Alonso wants to fix with the Chelsea team. No? But at this point, you have to contend with teams like Manchester United, who also want the player. Until now, it has turned into a bidding war. Who will be willing to pay that 75 million, 76, 77 million for Alex Scott? Because 64 million Ankasano, Bournemouth have rejected it.
All right.
So these are interesting times in the window. Meaning, say as the days go ahead, Norwich, and then we'll make some progress over there.
All right, insurance 4.5 yen to Medina. So, Emma Monia Joshua Lutu, Edna Mate, Nenkano Bismarck, who's been Paella, and so Ebetua.